Well, Deutsche Grammophon is the gold standard in recording. We all know that. You know, anybody that's paid attention, you know, at least of a certain age, understands the canon and the importance of Deutsche Grammophon. And if you were a character like this, you know, especially an American, the exotica of coming over and fronting being a principal conductor for a major German orchestra, and then being able to actually record for Deutsche Grammophon in the footsteps of all of your heroes is gigantic. I could give you the equivalent in filmmaking, but I won't. As Hildur says, it's a process film, it's a rehearsal film. There's no performance. So what is her ideal, you know? And so, yeah, that started with Deutsche Grammophon right at the beginning when I was writing the script, and the whole time I kept thinking, wow, what if they don't want to participate in the movie? I'm in real trouble. Yeah, I was very nervous. Very nervous to show them the film, actually. Because they're a huge character in the film. I mean, Deutsche Grammophon's just spoken about nonstop for, you know, half of the movie. She's a very particular character, Lydia Tár, and she's really aware of how one might be perceived in the marketplace, and she's looking for something that's sort of workmanlike and honest, and what she sees as, you know, rolling up your sleeves like a Botto would, as opposed to sort of like the great heroic shot of Von Karajan or you know, a superimposed Philharmonie behind Bernstein, or you know, take your pick, right? So I found this one cover. It's the Abbado cover, yeah. And it was one of my favorite recordings of the Mahler 5. But I didn't realize it had never. You would know this, but it had never been issued as an LP. It was just a CD. So we went through a lot of stress in prep, trying to convince Deutsche Grammophon that they should let us make an LP of this thing, because it's what she had to ape, and there's no way she's going to be looking at a CD, obviously, right? Because she's so obsessed with vinyls. The 5 came out of, at the time when I was working on the script, I was working with John Mauceri, who is a conductor and a great educator at Yale. First thing that John Mauceri asked me was, "What's your favorite piece of classical music?" You know, and I kind of covered my eyes and, you know, was an apologist for the Mahler 5, you know. And he said, "No, you can't be cynical about the Mahler 5. Nobody who's serious about classical music would ever be cynical about the 5. It's really important, and this is why. So don't be a coward, build it around the 5. The Elgar Concerto was, you know, fairly self-evident, because I was looking for a character sort of built around a composite of 2 or 3 different sort of famous personalities, one of whom was Jacqueline Dupre. So, you know, there's nothing like sitting there and watching her play that. So it was sort of a no-brainer, you know, and all the more, you know, lovely that we were able to take this young cellist, Sophie Kauer, and have her play in the same studio with the same orchestra as Jacques Dupre at Studio 1 at Abbey Road.
But it also happens to be the reason why I play the cello.
Does it?
Yeah, I don't even know if I told you this, but the reason why, or you know, the mythical reason why I play the cello is that when my mother was pregnant with me, she was listening to that concerto all the time.
Really?
And she, I didn't tell you this, yeah. And she was she was like certain this child will be called Hildur, and she will be a cellist, and that's only because of this cello concerto.
Amazing. Amazing. Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible. Yeah, you didn't tell me that.
No, I forgot.
So everything makes even more sense.
You have to
Yeah.
It was fated.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.